my little party animals. Hiphiprenee here today with a brand new episode of Building 101. This is my very quick build tutorial series. Each of the videos are under 10 minutes. They're very, very quick, and they are perfect for people who are new to The Sims, who are new to building, or just who need, some quick tips and tricks on how to build. Today we are going to be talking about roof manipulation. We are not going to be talking about how to actually roof houses like you see in the back here. If that's something that you are interested in watching, I will link it up in the corner, so you'll see it probably up in the top right-hand corner on YouTube, and you can check that out. Today we are talking specifically about manipulating roofs. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stick a little bit of roof onto this house that has really nothing going on. You will notice that each of these houses are the exact same shape and they are all roofed differently. So there's plenty of different things that you can do with roofs in this game, but we are just going to be talking about how to manipulate these roofs. So when you place down any roof in the game, you're going to notice all of these little things, all of these little buttons, these little things just kind of sticking out, and each of these is a way that you can manipulate the roof. So the first thing that you can do is, of course, extend the roof. You do that by picking one of these arrows, whether it be on the side or on the front and back, and you just click it and you drag. That's it. It's very simple. You can do the same thing by bringing this back. And then there we go. We have a roof on this house. Of course, there are far more buttons than just the extending and shortening, and you can shorten them all the way to one square. You can extend them basically to the edges of the lot if that's something that you really want to do. Same thing with going front and back. There's not really any tips or tricks to that. It's really just click and drag to whatever size you happen to need that roof to be. Now, of course, you can also do the same thing with raising and lowering the roof. And the way that you would do that is you would use this arrow that is on top of the roof, and you can extend it up towards the sky, or you can take it down and flatten it out. Now, with this particular instance, there is a little trick that honestly I didn't even realize until well into my building career, if you will. And what it is you can actually smooth how this is moving by just hitting the Alt key on your keyboard and holding it. That's going to make this a lot smoother. So you can really kind of get in and figure out exactly where that you want your roof to be rather than it just snapping to some different points. It does move up, pretty shallow, and it moves down pretty shallow, but you can make it even more shallow by just holding down that Alt key. So that's something that you can definitely play around with while you are building your houses and see what works best with you. Now, of course, there are these smaller arrows as well. These smaller arrows deal with the eaves of the roof. So the eaves of the roof are the little bits that stick out. So if you notice over here on the side, we have a little bit of extra hang off over here on the back. We have a little extra hang off over here on the front. We have some hang off over on the side as well as this other side. So if you click on your roof and you choose one of those arrows, you can pull it in and get rid of the eaves entirely, or you can drag those eaves all the way out and you can make this crazy, crazy looking house. So that is something that you can definitely play around with. For something like this particular house, I would prefer to have the eaves on the side out and then the eaves on the back out. Now, you're probably saying right now, well, Renee, the eaves on the front are still out, so how do you get rid of that? So what you can do is you can actually manipulate one eave at a time by holding down the Shift key. So if I hold down the Shift key, you'll notice over here, we're going to go to the side. If I'm holding down the Shift key and I pull this side up, only the front has moved. So I can pull that all the way up, or I can pull that all the way down, and it's not going to affect the other side of the roof. You can do this with the sides as well. So again, if I hold down the Shift key and I click on one of these eaves, I can extend just this side out, I can extend just this side in, and I can do the same thing with the other side as well. So that is a fun little trick that I didn't realize for a very long time. It's just one of those things that if you don't know all of the controls in the game, because there are plenty of them, and there are plenty of them that I am still not aware of, that, you know, maybe you just won't use that. So that is something that is really fun, really simple and easy to use, and you can definitely make your roofs look really cool with that. The final thing that I want to talk about is these little orbs or these little balls that are sitting on top of your roof. So these are going to adjust the arch of the roof. So you can hang on to that and you can adjust it all the way up and you can make this crazy kind of curved looking roof, or you can pull it all the way down and it will curve itself in. Of course, going through here, you can kind of play around with it. You can make it, you know, just a little bit curved. You can make it a lot of bit curved. Whatever happens to work for whatever build it is you are currently doing. And now this next trick, this is something that I learned, I want to say fairly recently, within the last few months. There are more manipulation points in here than you realize. And the way that you need to get to them is you hold Shift-C, and if you notice, there's a new one up here, and there's a new one down here as well. So now you can actually manipulate all these little different points of the roof and really come up with something kind of crazy and cool. Even if you extend these eaves like all the way out, you can make it, you know, it almost looks like a little hat or something. This is really cool, and this is not something that I realized you could do for quite some time. And you can really have some fun with this, creating some really interesting roof shapes, just doing something new. Really, the roofing of a house is going to change the entire feel of the house. So playing with roofing is a definite way of making your builds look really interesting, really different, and really new. So again, to get those manipulation points, you just hit Shift-C. You do not have to hold that down. It will automatically go into this. And if you want to get rid of it, you just hit Shift-C again, and it will reset the roof to whatever you had prior to you hitting Shift-C again. So I really hope that you guys found these quick tips and tricks on roof manipulation easy to follow. I hope that you end up using them in your builds. If you do, please tag me on Twitter, on Instagram, however you want to get in touch with me. I would love to see what you guys come up with these roofing manipulation tools that we are given in the game. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. If you have any suggestions on other build tutorials you would like to see me do, leave them in the comments down below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here or you're not new here and you're not subscribed yet, make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you get notifications every single time I post a new video. Thank you guys so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye!